Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about learning English fast. I know a lot of you are struggling to move from intermediate to advanced or upper intermediate. This has been my problem as well, and I'm going to talk about the things that really helped me. I learned English. I read in English, but I couldn't really speak well. I didn't always understand native speakers. I was kind of in the middle. I knew English, but couldn't really use it. Today, I will try to lift you from your intermediate level and show you ways to advance very soon. If you're interested in speaking English like a native speaker, continue watching this video and make sure to watch until the very end. And make sure to smash the like button right now if you think this topic is useful. I'm waiting for you to smash the like button. Good. So, first of all, make sure you have a very clear goal and target. Before I was 14 years old, I was like, English is amazing. My parents tell me to learn English. Great, I'm going to do that. But at the age of 14, I went to the UK and saw a completely different life. I saw people chasing various goals, trying British food, and experiencing the culture. I was like, I want to be a part of that world. I want to be a part of this Western world. Because I was born and raised in Russia, it all seemed completely different from where I came from. I knew that the only way for me to become a part of that world was first to learn English and speak it like a native speaker, and second, to succeed in my studies. English is just a way to integrate into society. It's an instrument that will get you somewhere. Apart from English, you also need something else, right? You don't want to end up just being a great English speaker. You want to end up being a great English speaker talking about a topic of your expertise. This is when I realized, okay, this is where I move from just learning English like grammar and vocabulary to learning about something in English. When I was 14, my dream was to go and study in Great Britain. So, I started researching universities in the UK, researching scholarships, and using my intermediate English for it. I started reading articles, and this way, I was able to improve my vocabulary. Because I was so passionate about this topic, it wasn't really a struggle for me. I wanted to do it. I waited for that 1 hour in the evening that I had to do my research. So, this is something I would advise you to do. Find a topic that interests you the most, set a goal, and then go towards it. Move towards it and always check back with yourself. Am I enjoying what I do? Am I enjoying my goal? Because this is the most important thing. The next advice might be a little counterintuitive, but people keep telling you to read a lot. Reading a lot doesn't always work with English. You know what I noticed? When I started reading a lot, especially on a professional topic, there were so many words specific to that topic, like medicine, that I couldn't pronounce them. I kind of read them and understood what they meant, but would you ever check how to pronounce them and that was the wrong way to pronounce them? It is really important that you not only read, but also focus on listening to things in English on your topic. This way, you are learning how to pronounce words because that's really important. The problem I had was that I knew a lot of specific words related to pregnancy, for example, because I was first-time pregnant here in the US. I read a lot, but then I came to my doctor and tried to say something, and she didn't understand me because I was pronouncing these words incorrectly. This is when I realized I should have listened more instead of just reading. The next advice, don't translate word for word. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, she just used this word that I didn't understand. Let me translate the whole phrase. No, this way you're going to lose interest. If you're reading a book and you come across 2 or 3 words you haven't seen before in every paragraph, that's totally fine. If you still understand the context and the topic of the book, just let those words pass by. No need to translate everything. Just make sure you understand the general idea. This advice is really useful if you're about to take an English language test. In these tests, they use a lot of difficult words to confuse you and make you scared. But the questions they ask don't really relate to those words. They relate to the general idea. I recently took the TOEFL and can tell you there were so many words I didn't understand. I've lived in the US since 2016, and they just want you to feel overwhelmed with academic vocabulary. But then they ask questions you don't really need to understand those complicated words for. If you're learning English to live in a foreign country, then forget about writing. This might sound counterintuitive, but you need to analyze why you need English. If you're going to stay in your country and write academic papers, then yes, dedicate a significant portion of your time to reading and writing. But if you plan on moving somewhere or working in an English-speaking environment, then focus on speaking and listening. For example, I live in the US, and 80% of my time I speak English because I record videos and talk to people. This means I need to dedicate 80% of my time to speaking and listening, and only 20% to reading and writing. Yes, your corrected version is technically right. Here it is with slight additional polishing for readability. The next advice is to listen to audiobook stories. Ask yourself, what am I interested in apart from English? For example, I'm interested in becoming more productive because I have a baby, a YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, and companies. There are so many things going on in my life. How do I stay productive? How do I allocate my time depending on my goals? There is an amazing audiobook story channel called Sty Stories. You can check out this channel to listen to stories. The link is in the description. All of us are learning English digitally, and you have so many things going on your laptop. I have all of my messages, my emails, and people calling me all the time. It's really important to have dedicated time slots for different activities. For example, one day focus on listening, another day on speaking. The next advice, forget about perfect grammar. Whenever you try to be perfect in anything in a language, it slows you down. Oh, your brain is like, I need to say this phrase in English, and I also want to make sure I sound perfect, and this is just too much. Think about your ideas and how to say them in English, and then try to sound perfect. Maybe you want to use the past perfect continuous tense? Don't do it. You can try to use it later. I still refrain from using it because it's too much for my brain. I just want to sound simpler and easier. Don't overcomplicate things and don't try to sound perfect. It's totally okay to make mistakes. You'll correct yourself later. Please, start speaking. The next advice is to listen to everything. Remember I was telling you about reading stuff and not knowing how to pronounce it? So, try to listen to audiobooks, online courses, and videos. Surround yourself with listening to things in English. This will really help you hone your listening and speaking skills. Last but not least, practice English every day. That's the key to success. Maybe it's 15 minutes, maybe 20. Maybe it's watching my videos daily or listening to an audiobook chapter. It's really important to be consistent and do something every single day. Thank you so much for watching this video until the very end. I hope it helps you become more enthusiastic about learning English and helps you create a plan to go from intermediate to advanced. I hope I gave you some direction. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and smash the like button if you enjoyed this content. See you soon. Bye-bye.